the traditional drinking water. You can absorb it in the intestines, and the intestines need that water so that the pH of at least 8.3 is needed to absorb that water. Alkaline diet and alkaline water make weight loss a lot easier. And I might add, when you're losing weight, you really got to drink a lot more water, because your body is just going to crave it because you're moving those toxins. Electrolytes reduce water in Parkinson's. There is a lot of Parkinson's today. A lot of people are getting this. Remember again the principle, somewhere in their past they've had a blood-brain barrier incident that opened it up. I dealt with a guy, came to the brain camp, who had Parkinson's, pretty severe. He was in his 80s. Guess what he did when he was a kid? He played football. He couldn't even count the amount of times he got hit in the head. And I would not let my son play football. No, my husband doesn't want to play football. He just likes to watch it. He likes to watch everybody else get their heads beat. I think a lot of men do that, but it's not a real great sport in that regard. But the studies have shown that the hydrogen water is likely to be able to what? Retard the development. Now, retard means slow down, back up, go, the other direction. Wow, that's right from the research of Parkinson's disease. There's the research. Now, retinal damage, look what they're doing. They have the high hydrogen negative water, has no known effects in the human body. So they did a study, and they found that putting hydrogen negative ion loaded eye drops are very useful in a neuroprotective and antioxidative therapeutic treatment for acute retinal injury. Now, in our brain program in our camps, we just give them the regular ionized water, and we had one gal with an optic nerve damage, and she couldn't see out a part of that eye. We did a lot of different brain stimulating therapies for her, and when she left, she had vision returning, and today she has vision in that eye because the optic nerve was restored. And she went to her doctor and actually had it confirmed in the medical sense. Raising your healing vibration by using 11.5 water. Energy vibrations of the water, look at this. Can you see those? There's tomatoes on the left, and they were left in the car for 2 weeks, and they are totally still in great form because they were soaked in the 11.5. Now the ones on the right were still in the sun, still in the car, and they're all mushy and rotten. Well, this is exciting because when I leave for weeks, my husband isn't the greatest in cooking, and I don't want to come back to rotten vegetables that he hasn't used. And you know what? They're not rotten. They're still good. They're good for weeks because they've been soaked in the 11.5. What can we do to bring our bodies back to the energetic balance? Eat high vibration foods, like soaked in 11.5, voltage measured by an electronic device. We know this as the ORP meter, and water molecules will pick up that negative ORP. And you drink the high frequency water as well. We know that there's a lot of chemicals in our environment. We're getting non-organic, let's say apples. And even after washing and peeling them, they will have a lot of pesticides, more than 53 pesticides, and many things are sprayed on these. And these people evaluated these 53 products in their study, and they found that they affect the body over the long haul. Pesticides can be toxic to the nervous system, disrupting the natural balance. I've had people come into the brain program whose mothers had all raw food, mostly raw food, but all pesticide-laden food, and caused so much damage to the nervous system. The child was a vegetable. The mother rejected that diagnosis. She was a vegetable, but she said, I'm not going to leave it there, and she did alternative therapies, and the child is just like a normal child today. And these potentially cause disease, they cause neurological damage, they cause brain damage. So here's what you do. You take your fruits and vegetables and your meats and you soak them in the high 11.5 minus hydrogen water. It's adding the hydrogen, it oxygenates the food, it neutralizes the pesticides and the chemicals, and when you take them out, you'll see the residue in there. Sometimes it's a greasy residue, sometimes it's just a color. The food will last a lot longer. Here's some of the things you can do with the 11.5 water. You can spray acne with it. You can soak parts of your body that are inflamed. Many people have done this. They take and they make a compress with it. You can warm it up too and put it on. You can make salad dressings. When my salad dressings get too thick, I'll just add 11.5 and it emulsifies and makes them come out easier. You can use it to clean your auto and be a degreaser. You can use it for removing stains. I use it in my washing machine. I threw away all my bleaches and all my chemicals, and I now use this, and I get whiter clothes and cleaner clothes than I've ever gotten before. You can use it to take smells out. Soak your things in smells and stains, and you can spray it on herpes sores. Healing vibrations of hyperoxidized water. That is the acid water. Some people don't realize that that water is being used for its healing vibration too. Some have said that having an acid water on hand is worth the price of a water ionizer, and we're going to show you why, because some of these things are very critical. So in the 2,5 water, you can use it as a hand sanitizer. You know that these hand sanitizers, put in a little spray and take it with you in your purse. Don't ever use those that as you go into a store or hospital, they're loaded with mercury. So you're getting more toxic poison and chemicals in you. Clean cuts and abrasions, use it for your first aid spray. Cold sores and on your lips and wounds, kills the bacteria. Hygiene, you can brush your teeth and gargle with it. You can soak your toothbrush in it. You can put it on plants. I use it in my greenhouse to kill fungus and mold. And you can use it on your kitchen counters and as an insecticide. You can use it for eczemas and psoriasis where you soak directly in it. In skincare, you can splash this 5.5 to 6.0 on your face. It's better than any toner and a lot cheaper. You can use it to clean things in your house. Ceramics, you can wash dishes with it. You can use it in the washing machine. You can use it on your pets. You can use it to polish your eyeglasses and polish your mirrors. There's many, many things you can do with it. But acid water kills most, what? On contact, the bacteria. It improves the hair and the skin conditions of any kind, including fungus, cuts, scrapes, and serious wounds. Ionized water regularly works like an astringent to tighten the skin and remove the wrinkles. And no chemicals. It soothes and helps clear the skin of acne and other blemishes. The 5 water, we're going to go quickly through this, but you can get these charts. They are available on what are the scientific studies that have been done on which bacteria. We're going to go quickly through them. And basically, in 30 seconds is about the average of what it takes in exposure to the 2.5 hyperoxidized water to kill hepatitis B, tubercular virus, AIDS virus, Bacteria subtilis, Staphylococcus, Salmonella, and Bacillus cereus, and a resistant Staphylococcus. And here's more. The enterovibrio, the typhoid bacillus, the Candida albicans, the pneumobacillus, the bread mold, the red yeast, the athlete's foot and fungus, Streptococcus pyogenes, Enterococcus, Staph aureus, and E. coli. We won't have food poisoning if we soak our meats and our vegetables in this water. And if you get food poisoning, what I would do is drink the water a tablespoon or so at a time. Hyperoxidized water works with the same way with the blood as the white blood cells. It kills the bugs. Hyperoxidized water is an electron stealer. Use for only 1 or 2 weeks at a time to get ahead of the infections, and then you drink heavy while you're taking the 2.5, and then afterwards you drink heavily the 9.5 and the 11.5 as much as possible to restore the electrons. It changes the vibration of the environment and biochemically so that it works like antibiotics. There is a plethora of research on what this does. It has been well documented. After the exposure time of 30 seconds, the electrolyzed oxidized water completely inactivates all of the bacteria, with the exception of vegetative cells and spores of bacilli, which needed 5 minutes. The electrolyzed reduced water has shown some potency in inactivating the oral streptococci. Electrolyzing water has been shown to exhibit strong activities against many, many of the pathogens like Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella, Bacillus cereus, and Staph. How does this use in the dental? I was going to a dentist who used this in my procedures. And a Dr. Noriyuki Tanaki in a dental clinic reported the direct application of this positive hydrogen water on the injured region, the negative hydrogen, so the very high pH, on the inflamed areas in the mouth promoted healing in his dental procedures, including tooth extraction. My dentist would use it to sterilize, and he would use it to sterilize the mouth. Vibrations of electrolyzed oxidized water in the dental periodontal bacteria, they found it's extremely useful in preventing and treating periodontal disease. Preventing and treating. More than 99% of the bacteria species were killed after exposure in solution to this water. Periodontal bacteria and abscesses, and what else? Infected root canals. All in research proven to be effectively killed with this water. Vibrations of the water and acne. According to a 2004 study, 25 patients were evaluated for mild to moderate acne, and they reported 100% of the patients. How many? 100% of the patients showed improvement. Treatment with the acidic water results in significant reduction in inflammatory lesions and noticeable clearing of the face within 8 weeks. Results of the treatment were so good that 75% of the patients treated with the acidic water preferred the acidic water to conventional acne medications. Our teenagers will love it. That's a great way. Go to their felt need, and their faces are big for them. They want them clear and shining. Now, athlete's foot. Probably most people have some kind of a fungus on their feet. And it's a nasty fungus that's very difficult to cure. Many people suffer from it and have it for long periods of time. But athlete's foot, this is what the research says, can be what? Cured by electrolyzed water. At the Kiowa Hospital in Japan, athlete's foot, hands, and bed sores were treated with only this water. And the doctor says that unless there was an infection, they were completely healed. Clinical reports that I have gotten are that 15 minutes in the 2.5 water a day, once a day for 4 weeks, takes care of it. Now, how do we deal with the mold and the fungus and things? The director of the Kiowa Hospital in Soskuk, Kawamura, says the electrolysis of tap water produces acid water at the anode. That's the anode is the side of the plus. And he says that using this pH of 2.5 kills fungus, mold, and bacteria. How many of you would like to use that in your showers? You live in an area that has more high humidity. You're going to have a lot of mold here. Bacteria such as the spirilla and many others can only survive in a pH environment between 3 and 4. The MRSA. How many of you have heard of people that have MRSA? It's everywhere. And it's methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. It is spreading. Often I hear people say, I've had this for weeks and months. Acid water has a pH value of 2.5 is known to kill this. The oxidation reduction, electrical potential, and chlorine and the oxygen help kill these bacteria. And here is a picture of what we can do with the alkaline acid water, and it's used to treat gangrene. If you have had gangrene or any kind of an openness like this, it's very, very acid in your body, and they're using the acid, but they're also drinking very high amounts of the alkaline water. And it doesn't take them very long, and they're soaking in this, and they're spraying it on, and these wounds, these sores are gone. Vibrations of electrolyzed reduced water and bed sores. If somebody is not ambulatory, not able to walk, not able to get out of bed in our senior population, they're going to get bed sores. This is a mild picture of some bed sores. And the Kiowa Hospital, Dr. Hidemitsu Hiwasashi says, we don't use antiseptics in their hospital. We use electrolyzed water. One of the patients allowed us to take pictures of his bed sores, and it healed. It worked right down to the bone. Bed sores, even the bad, nasty ones, are healed using this water. It works better than what? Any other medicine. I worked in a convalescent home in high school, and I saw those ugly sores. They never went away, no matter what they did. They just kept eating them and eating them and eating them, and they're awful, and then they stink, and they are very, very difficult. And they're getting them with the acid water. Electrolyzed water works better, especially on the bed sores. They don't have to use disinfectant, ointments, intravenous drip, only the water, and in 2 weeks. There has been no infection on the surface of the ulcer. They were able to get rid of it. Vibrations of this water with ulcers. Stomach ulcers and duodenal ulcers improve as a result of using this water. That's documented. HIV virus and hepatitis B. What does the research say? The electrolyzed oxidized water modified the immune response on the surface protein of hepatitis B. The electrolyzed oxidized water modified the inactivity of the HIV virus when exposed to it in vitro for 45 minutes. The oxidation reduction potential, or the pH, the free chlorine in this water, was a plus 1,053 millivolts. The pH was 2.34. That's what it took. The addition of fresh electrolyzed water may restore the complete disinfection through the bloodstream in these pathogens. Wow. I don't know about you, but this is pretty amazing. There's your research. It's in the journals. It says it kills it. The electrolyzed oxidized water was effective in destroying the hepatitis on instruments that they were using, so they didn't transmit it. Solutions are always at work in our body. Most voltage transfer is done through what? Fluids. Fluids carry electrons as minus donors or positive as stealers. Electrons are how the cells do their work. If cells don't have enough electron donors in the negative, they become chaotic and can't do their work. When the pH drops, your what drops? Voltage. You're going to always remember now that voltage has to do with the pH, and you want it to be negative. The body doesn't get well by making damaged cells work correctly. It gets well by making new cells work correctly. The process of rebuilding a new and healthy you is based on the fact that the body is constantly replacing itself. As each new cell is built, the body seeks proper, it goes by nature to find the right materials, and if they're there, it will take them, and it will constantly build new cells. If it can't find them, then healthy materials, it'll use whatever's there. To make the new cells, it has to have the raw materials. What did I tell you those raw materials were? They were the fats, they were the minerals, they were especially the water. And sufficient cellular voltage can't come from any other way but the proper water. If any of these are lacking, pharmaceuticals and our surgeries won't even help. How many of you know people have had surgeries? How many of you know people that are taking drugs and they're not getting anywhere? And they're just taking them because they don't know anything else. That's the answer. Human cells are designed to run at minus what millivolts? You will know this, minus 20 millivolts, or a pH of 7.35. The vibration of water determines your true healing power. It truly and clearly has the medical and functional value. The key to optimal medical and functional value is the state it's in. The body has the ability to heal itself of many ailments if you give it the proper nutrition and the right voltage. The most important in the cellular voltage is what? The water, the kind of water, the only water that supplies the oxygen, the alkaline pH, the abundance of the negative ions is the hydrogen ions, microclustered, electrolyzed reduced water, and ionized water. It is the key to our voltage. It is the key to our healing. Thank you.